Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Get Wicked podcast, where all we do is sit here and talk about Disney Villainous and all the wonderful things that have to do with this wonderful game. I'm your host, Joker Jonesy here, and today I am joined by two wonderful people. One of them is a returning host right here, is Headmaster Ditto. Ditto, how are you doing today?
I'm actually doing okay. A little tired, but
A little tired, but you're happy to be here, though, right?
Oh, totally.
Coffee, man.
Believe me, I live on that stuff. You have no clue.
And besides my friend Ditto, we have a very special guest joining us on today's show. It is Lord of the Board from the YouTube channel Lord of the Board. So I am clapping over here. Welcome to the show. It is an honor to have you on.
No, thank you for having me.
Yes, it is an honor to have you. Really looking forward to all the just whatever we're going to talk about today, because there's all sorts of stuff we can talk about.
Totally.
But we do have a few housekeeping things today. I have two things I want to talk about. So first things first, this is the fourth episode of the show. And I just want to say thank you all for all the amazing support that you guys have, given us with, just watching our content and chatting in the Discord. It's been really awesome to see how many of you have had like a positive impact from the show, and that means a lot to me. So anything that we can do better for the show, just let us know. I just want to make this a fun time for you folks to listen as well as enjoy our community. So thank you so much. Now, the second thing is actually super awesome. Ravensburger and I have been in contact, and we are actually going to be running a giveaway for the Perfectly Wretched expansion that is going to be coming out on March 1st. We're going to be doing this through the show. And what is going to be happening is that I'm going to give you some giveaway criteria. And once March 1st rolls around, if you are chosen to be one of the winners for this giveaway, Ravensburger is going to be sending you a free copy of Perfectly Wretched. So I hope you folks are looking forward to that. The criteria is that we're going to actually be doing this for the next two shows. So this show and the next show, where we're going to be doing this giveaway. And what I want you folks to be doing is that in the YouTube comments of this video, I want you to put hashtag Perfectly Wretched giveaway, all lowercase. And if you put that in, that's how you can enter to be a part of the giveaway. So as long as you comment like that, you'll be entered. And then what's going to happen is that when I do the next show, we will actually reveal the winner live on the show as we record it. And then I will contact you, and we'll get your information. I'll send to Ravensburger, and then they will make sure you're all set for getting your free copy of the expansion. So thanks again for Ravensburger to reaching out and letting us do that on the show. And all right, that's enough housekeeping. Let's get to the fun stuff.
That is incredible.
I know. It's really awesome that they're willing to work with us on this, just for a small show.
Yeah, that's so cool. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on Perfectly Wretched, because it's just been hard to not be able to talk to everybody about it,
If our Discord's anything to go by, none of us can wait either, believe me.
I know. It's just it's so hard not to say everything.
It's like right on the horizon for everybody, and we're just
yeah. It's like I could, because I've been talking about my time playing the expansion characters, and it's like I can sit here and talk about it, but it's really hard to talk to the Discord about it, because it's not the same unless you're actually playing it and figuring out the tools and playing against it. So there's this whole other thing of I'm looking at the cards and seeing this stuff, but actually having it happen and what to do about it is the more interesting side of things.
Oh, totally. And they play so differently. I mean, they're very, very different from what we've seen before, which I love. I mean, they're very, very different.
Yeah, no. We will probably talk about more Perfectly Wretched on the show today, but I want to first introduce you, my friend, Lord of the Board. What I want to do a quick little just smidge, let you plug your stuff, talk about what got you interested in what you do, because this is also a little bit about you. This is also your show. A little bit, because you're here.
Thanks.
So the first question I want to ask you is, so what got you into Disney Villainous, and what makes you love it so much to make videos about it?
Man, that's a great question. So it actually started off with me just browsing the internet, and I think I saw a picture of the game somehow. I think it was on Board Game Geek, and I clicked into it and was like, oh my gosh, why have I not heard of this before, for one? And then I think it was just after its initial release. And then I went on to YouTube, watched tons of videos, Dice Tower, of course,
Yes,
all the
shouts to Dice
huge. And I was just like, man, these components are phenomenal. And me and my wife actually love Disney. So we just love Disney movies. We love pretty much everything Disney. I mean, we went to Walt Disney World for our honeymoon. So
Oh, nice.
we really love Disney. And so I was thinking, gosh, this game would be perfect because, me and my wife both love board games. The theme is gorgeous. So I just ordered a copy of it and we got it. We played it. I just love it so much. I think it has all the elements of a game that I enjoy. It's asymmetric. It's really simple to teach. So I was able to play it at so many different player counts in a small span of time. Gosh, yeah. And my wife absolutely adores it, and she even though I'm the lord of the board, she beats me a lot.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. She's the one that you learned the strategy from. That's what I'm getting from right now.
I kind of want to put her on the show sometime and be like, so this is the lady of the board.
Yeah, really. Now, I am a little curious, though. How many times is that she genuinely wins, and how many times is it that you throw the game?
That's fair. It's about 50-50.
There you go. We have a record of it now.
Yeah, we have a record. I know when I play with my girlfriend, we can only play it in small bursts because she is very competitive, and I love her for it because she actually tries to win. But what will happen is that you get towards the end of the game, and since one of the things I love about this game is that it's relatively balanced except for Ursula. And you get to the end, and someone just does one really hard fade against you, and then you're just like, well, I'm not coming back from that, and then you're done. She's like, no. She's the perfect example of someone who would actually flip the table, but I love her for it. But she is good. She's pretty good at the game, so it helps keep me on my toes when I do play it.
Yeah, totally. The same here. I mean, my wife's really, really good. She thinks a lot about it. She'll pull out all the cards and count them, see how many of each card is in the deck. What is the, how common is it going to come up? And it's something that we just love to do together, but man, it can get pretty competitive. That's actually what started me wanting to make videos on the game, is that I think I really realized that, there is actually a lot of, I guess, analytics to the game. I mean, the amounts of each card really play a huge part into how, commonly are you going to draw certain cards? What's the basic strategy? How can this kind of information help people? And I also like just like animations and stuff. So it was kind of an outlet for me to do some simple animations with cards. It was kind of an easy first jump into strategy guides with kind of a card-ish type game. Because the first videos that I ever did, it was Root, which was kind of a hard first project. I really want to kind of go back and redo all of those, but I'm really excited for the 2 new factions of those, so that I can kind of.
Have you got a chance to play with the new factions yet?
I have not, because I ordered everything on the Kickstarter, and so my package, I just got the shipping label last night.
Whoops.
So man. I know. I ordered literally everything possible. I've got everything coming, which is exciting, but I am getting it dead last, I swear.
Yeah, you probably are. I got my Root expansion stuff last week, or it was last week or the week before, I forget. And I played it. So we had a night where we were playing the new Root expansion, and my friends came over to play the new Villainous characters.
Nice.
And I hadn't played Root in a while because once I knew the expansion was coming, I was just like, I just want to wait, have a fresh experience. And I sat down, we played Root again, and I love Root, but man, that game can go one-sided really fast.
That's true. Yeah.
I do like the new factions, though. I actually I posted this on Twitter. I think my favorite part of the new expansion is the boards. The new boards.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I really like how both of the boards have some cool, unique mechanics to them that kind of change the way how you have to play out your stuff.
Sure.
So because with the mountain board, you have the middle, which has got the +1 victory point at the end of the turn or whatnot, and then you have the paths to uncover, and then the lake map is super weird on traversal because there's not a lot of paths to move, but you can use the boat to move, and that boat's location is based off how you can move. So it's really interesting. But then we played Disney Villainous. And then I was like, yes, I'm back at home. I love playing that game. It's just so, it makes my heart feel full on the inside.
Dude, totally. I get the exact same feeling. It's definitely one of those special games for me.
Yeah. I gotta ask. So I assume did you learn any of your video editing like before jumping into making the videos? Is that like a skill that you've had beforehand, or is that something you learned on the fly more when you were making the videos? I have to ask.
That's a great question. Man, did you think about these before?
I
Holy
did.
crap.
It's like
Good
maybe I'm like,
questions.
I'm like slightly Greg Miller from like Kind of Funny or like IGN days where I'm like, I'm sitting
Dude.
here and know how to interview stuff, but then I'm like, no, I just want to see her have a stupid conversation about Oreos, you know? But anyway.
Yeah, so I had no previous animation experience
Wow.
before jumping in. So I just kind of jumped in. And I'll be totally, completely honest, the first time anybody's going to hear this, the very first 6 videos and the first 3 Villainous videos, those are all done on an iPhone X.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, so the
Wow.
animations, the
That's
editing,
incredible.
everything. That's just proof that you can really make, like basically nothing work. It was a lot of time, and it was really actually just stressing me out because, like you're using your freaking finger
Yeah.
to move animations around on a tiny screen, and then, yeah, I finally
Even
moved
still,
to.
that's a bigger kudos to be able to like actually make that work.
Thanks, man.
Seriously.
I appreciate
Oh my
it. It
God.
was a lot of freaking work, man.
I can only begin to imagine
Yeah, that's
how
like
much would have had to go
Yeah.
into that. That's
I
incredible.
program a lot for a living, and as
Oh,
well
that's
as I
awesome.
teach, and I cannot imagine, because like one of the things I do for my teaching is that I actually teach a lot of online classes that have like video sessions, and you could actually run the video session completely through your phone, but especially since I teach programming, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to try to run anything through my phone. So I can only imagine trying to edit.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
really rough,
God.
man. Oh gosh, it took so much time. Especially because like during that early period, I didn't even know how to copy and paste animations. So I hand did every single
Everything.
animation, which if you think about it, it was literally insane. I was burning myself out actually. It was really bad. And that's really why I was like, okay, I really got to invest some money into some upgraded work and like tools and stuff. And I've been blessed with multiple things from people that have also helped. So
Yeah.
it's been pretty great. I'm definitely in a better place. It's a lot easier for me to make cool animations. It's a lot more enjoyable and not as stressful. I mean, I've always had fun doing it, as you can hopefully tell
Oh,
throughout the videos.
I think that's one of the things I really like about when I watch your videos is that it's very, like, especially when I was watching, like, the Doctor and the Hades videos recently, where, like, I really like some of the animations that were done on it, and it's, like, clear that there was some emotion and enthusiasm that you wanted to display while, like, showing off, like, some of the things that the cards do. And that
Totally.
just shows that, like, you want, like, because this is what I tell people about what I want this community to be about is, like, inviting new players to come in. And by making stuff like that, you're inviting players that, like, even if they never played Villainous before and they're just watching your video that's got, like, Hades on it or whatnot, they're looking at this and they're like, this looks cool and I like what's going on here. I want to maybe look more into this game and stuff like that. And I think it's a friendly environment that you're creating in the videos, and I really dig that with all the stuff that you do.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
so
really
no,
appreciate it.
because I mean, like, I have to give you some credit. You were the first, like, true Villainous, like, content creator that I think we saw. Like, you can say, like, you got your Dice Towers and anyone else who, like, reviewed the game beforehand and talked about it, but, like, someone who's actually making content about the game that's, like, some very high quality, even more high quality than the stuff that we do on our channel. I really
Hey,
enjoy
don't
that.
talk yourself down, man. I
No,
love
no.
your
I all my video knowledge is coming from years of making tutorial videos. And
Wow.
like I said, I'm a web programmer by default, so that's my shtick. I learned all my
Sure.
Premiere by screwing around, being like, I want to teach people about HTML and CSS and JavaScript.
Yeah, because what's more interesting than HTML?
So
Hey.
true.
Making toggles. Let me tell you, if you get a bunch of 13-year-olds excited about doing toggles in JavaScript, man, I've done something special with my life.
I think at that point you've made it.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah,
the
probably.
end goal there.
I
I've always
know.
dreamed of, getting to that point in my personal life.
All right, so now speaking of Disney Villainous, so I know you haven't covered all the characters yet, obviously.
We're getting there.
So who is your absolute favorite character to play with?
I knew you were gonna ask this question. I knew it. Man, gosh dang it.
That's the trick
such a
with
hard
this game, really,
choice,
because
yeah.
it's really hard to pin down.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is because okay, kind of like a sneak peek into what's coming for Villainous for my own personal channel is after the villains are done, I'm thinking about making a which villain should you choose to play. And so I've been dissecting the different class archetypes of villains because they really do have different play styles if you think about it.
Joke. And if you go back on that, if you let me tangent real quick.
Please do. I haven't
That's a little bit how I based my tier list during the last video.
Very cool.
When I realized like kind of how they were all falling into place, the ones in each tier that I had preference for were more the random chance, fate sort of instant win characters. And then on the other hand, I was really kind of discounting all of the collectathon, find X character, find X cards. And then there's Ursula, who's just like a tier all her own. Just
She's
the
so
worst of
fun.
everything.
That was a rough
It's just
day.
that she's not very great at the game.
But it's just funny. I realized that as soon as I was through with the list, is like there are definitive archetypes for all these characters that you can point out.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, even down to the fact that, there's a lot of shared location spaces between characters, like what characters have more activate actions, which characters are a little bit like quicker per se, which characters get more power, which characters gain less. Like there's so much things to it. So with that being said, I've been going through the archetypes and I've really figured out, kind of some of the favorite characters that I have. My very first favorite character at the very beginning was Hook. He was the very first character that I ever played in the game, and I just loved him so much. He has answers to everything. I mean, he's so fun.
Yeah, he's very powerful. I still think.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, you could totally, and it's so nice that you can use, like the boarding party to trick people into like thinking, oh yeah, he's so far away from winning, and then all of a sudden you're just like, screw you, suckers. But like, I love Hook, dude. He's so fun. I also found Prince John to be like one of my favorites in the first like base game. Throughout playing, obviously, many expansions have come out since then. I've got a lot more now. This is excluding Perfectly Wretched, I assume.
Well, I mean, you could talk Perfectly Wretched a little bit.
Heck, man, maybe I'll go into that after I give my like available to the people favorite character.
Gotcha. Right, available to the people.
Perfectly Wretched favorite character.
The fact that you have to make that distinction tells me a lot.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest. I think one of my new favorite characters is definitely in the new expansion. So.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't even played him yet, but yeah.
Wow, dude, you gotta, man. Okay, well, you're in for a treat. So, I'm gonna have to say it's probably Dr. Facilier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
I'm
a lot
gonna
of us
say
can agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely he's enjoyable in every possible way to play, and he has the quick victory condition, which is nice. So I win with him a lot more. Now that's like to say, I'm not like a super competitive person, but it's nice to get a win once in a while,
Yeah.
He's really fun, especially if you play him right. I mean, dude, if you play your cards right, which,
yeah,
no
that's like his whole gimmick
there, but yeah, it's his whole gimmick. But if you play your cards right, it's just so cool to see it all come together. Close second, and I'm talking like, gosh, almost equal. Yzma.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could kind of see that, I think.
I just enjoy her so much. I think she's so interesting, and I like playing characters that make me think differently. And with the fact that the Fate deck is already a different format, just makes it so fun to play her. And I just think the theming of it is hilarious because that's one of my favorite movies, and I just love the fact that Kronk is like, oh, he's on your side, and then he's like swaying to the opposite side. It's just so great. I love it.
I think so. Like, to go off of what you're saying, I actually like Dr. Facilier. I think is probably the best designed character in the whole game, which is why I think he's fun to play. Because like his fate deck is brutal against him, but he has many tools to get around it. So the figuring out the puzzle when that stuff gets out is not like horrible. And plus his mechanic was whole fun about like, oh, you're basically like forming another deck that you're trying to cycle through. And also the art on Friends on the Other Side is, I will say, probably the best art in the game next to almost all of Scar's cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Scars?
I think the friends on the other side imagery is like when I talk about the fighting game side of the game, like to me, because that's where I relate a lot of this to. Like friends on the other side is like literally the way that card art is drawn and everything is like if you put Dr. Facilier in a Street Fighter game, he's got that same movement, motion, yelling the same thing, all the effects.
Totally.
It all speaks to me super hard with the
No, he
Doctor.
has some amazing artwork. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
It's
I would
incredible.
definitely. I don't know though. I disagree about the scar work. It's not my favorite.
Really?
It's one of my weaker of the artwork. I would say.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I think it looks bland to me, just a teeny bit bland. I don't know. I think that might be.
Do you have attachment to the Lion King at all?
Here's the deal about that.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's not my favorite.
Really?
No.
That's
I like it, but it's definitely not like way up there. I'll be honest.
I gotcha.
We're
Okay.
in the same
But here's
boat
the
on
thing.
that one.
Here's the thing. Hey, you know what, Headmaster Ditto? I'm so glad we're on the same page with this one. My wife absolutely adores Lion King, though, and a lot of her family adores it too. So they love Scar. So I totally get that. Like, if you have attachment to the movie, the hero's card, or sorry, the villain. We ain't talking about
Both,
heroes here.
honestly.
Yeah, true though. But the villain's cards actually look just gorgeous. Like Hades cards are sick. Man, they're so cool. But I love like Greek mythology. I don't really even like the movie that much. I mean, I like it, but like not a ton. But I like Greek mythology. So looking at his cards is like awesome to me.
Yeah, I really like the Titans. I'm into the Greek mythology too. I'm really into God of War. I actually did a lot of I did a lot of reading of Greek stuff during like high school and college and like learning about all the different gods and everything. It was really kind of cool to see like going back and like playing this game and like relearning like the Greek mythology side of things. I was just like, oh, that's cool that they got the Titans, you know, because that's like the one thing I don't think a lot of like media has really like that's done Greek mythology is shown off as like the Titans really, because even in God of War, they don't do the cool Titans.
No, they don't.
They do Kronos. I think is the only one they really do.
And they don't go into the fact that they were the first,
Right.
Which is really an
Of course
interesting
not.
concept.
No.
It's like, well,
Who
you
cares
know,
about them? They're all interested in who Aphrodite's with this week.
Yeah. Hey, I platinum all those games, man. I've seen more than I probably should have. But interesting on the Lion King stuff though, because one of the things that makes me love playing Scar so much is the artwork. I think, and I have a real big attachment to Lion King because that was the Disney movie I watched as a kid. I didn't really actually watch a lot of the other movies until later in life because, full disclosure, I was born in '94. So
whoa,
yeah, I'm a little youngy, and
Dude, I'm so
You ain't seen nothing.
You're really not that young.
Yeah,
man.
I know, but we're moving up there in the years. But like the movies I watched with Disney when I was a kid were Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan, and Lion King. Those are like the three main ones, and a lot of the other ones I didn't see till much later. I think Hades was the last Disney movie like during when I was a kid that like I saw, but I didn't see it when like it was obviously in theaters. I saw it later when it was on VHS. But as I got older, I ended up watching a lot of the movies. But like going back and watching The Lion King when it like came out on Blu-ray and stuff, it just reminded me of how beautiful that movie is, and seeing the artwork of that in this game with the movie I love it so much. The Be Prepared artwork is awesome.
I agree with that.
But yeah, no, I get it.
That's so funny though, because it's like, yeah, that's the same pretty much story for me. Like when I was younger, I would watch some of the movies and stuff, but I definitely went back and watched them as I was a little bit older, because I'm even younger than you. I'm a 1997 baby. So.
Oh, really? Hot damn.
Jeez.
I'm a child. Yes, a married child.
Oh, wow, man. Now I'm feeling, yeah. That's
When you
good,
say married, first, you start off the conversation that way. Everybody assumes you're older. It's really weird.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I mean, that's how everyone operates nowadays, you know?
Yeah, totally. But like Robin Hood was one of my favorite animated films, which is a really old.
Yeah, that's my
way
girlfriend's
before my
favorite.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that brings me so many good memories. I was even gonna sing the song for my Prince John video that did not go through.
No.
But it's a great song. Come on,
It is a good song.
It really is, though.
so good. It brings it all back, you know.
Were there any of the films with the villains that got introduced into this game that you had not seen? before them?
I'll be honest. Radigan. I never watched
Yeah,
The
me
Great
too.
Mouse
Really?
Detective.
Me too.
I went back and watched that with my wife when The Villain was announced.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
It was actually a really fun game that we would play because when we were watching the movie, we were trying to guess what would be cards.
That's funny.
Because they
That's
theme
great.
phrases, they theme pictures sometimes, they theme
Well, they
like
really do, yeah.
specific items as cards. So it's like, oh, we could totally find them. And when like I saw Felicia the cat, I was like, well, there's one of his allies. You know, like it was
This
just
is
it was fun.
obvious.
It was fun to see. We were trying to also guess his goal too. So it was really, really fun. In fact, this game has really brought just so much awesomeness to our life in general because we've really just gotten more in love with Disney, more in love with board games, and we've connected so many people that we're friends with that aren't gamers with this game. So
Yeah,
it's been a blessing.
I can speak the same. We have another couple that we hang out with that we they have like the boyfriend of the couple is also really into games like I am. And like when we sit down and play Disney Villainous and stuff, he like gets really into like the hardcore depth that like my brain likes to go to. And then like our significant others are kind of like having a good time. But like that's the thing I love about this game is that, a lot on the Discord, I think a lot of us play a little bit more competitive probably than most people, or at least want to play a little hardcore. But I love it where I could bring this into a 4 or 5 player group of people. And my friend, I'm going to call him Knox, because I don't know, I'm not going to say his real name, but Ditto's played against him before. Where he will actually, when he plays Jafar, he will do all the voices.
He does.
He is fantastic.
Pretty comical.
He does all of the voices to the characters.
does.
He loves Jafar.
Dude,
Jafar's his favorite villain.
yes.
And he will sit
That's
there
so
and do
cool.
all the quotes. And then I will try to do my bad Iago impression. And but it's super fun. But with getting people together and like even if you're just not playing competitively or trying to actually win, it's just fun to like play the cards, see the artwork, see how things are operating on the boards, and people are having a good time. Now, no one ever plays Ursula at these parties because no one wants to not have fun. But
True.
that's another story.
I always give new players Evil Queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
I find her pretty easy to win with, and she's also
Yeah.
pretty straightforward in a way.
The ease and power for her balance out with the newbie.
Yeah. I'm glad you agree with us on the Evil Queen thing, though, because it's a very hot topic that the Evil Queen is the best in the game. So
I enjoy her a lot.
she is a lot of fun to play. I'll tell you that much. And not just
I'll
because
say
she's
that-
easy to win. She's just got really cool mechanics.
I know, and also her artwork is actually some of my favorite.
Oh yeah, her artwork's
Really?
pretty good. I agree.
It's really interesting. I don't know why. I think it's the purple, and also her locations are gorgeous.
The location art is pretty good. I'll give
It's
it that.
it's great. And also I just love dwarves and fantasy, and it really brings out like the old like medieval fantasy in me that
I
loves
gotcha.
dwarves and witches and dragons and knights. Like it's pretty great. I like it better than Maleficence, but Maleficence is still gorgeous. But I kind of put them both in the same box because they both have like forest and castles and stuff.
I gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
so
it-
I have another question for you. And then Ditto, after I ask this question, if you have anything to ask, please ask, my friend.
Oh, absolutely.
So the ultimate question is, who do you want to come next? Who do you absolutely want to come next? If there was one, the next expansion was a big box expansion, and they were saying this is the last character that we're ever getting in Disney Villainous.
No.
Who is the absolute one that you
Don't
must
say
have
that.
to make your life complete? Or do
Can
you
I
already
give a
have it?
realistic-
That's the question.
Can I? Well, here's the deal. I don't. I don't have it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, can I have a realistic expectation and a fake expectation?
Go for it. I would
Absolutely.
like
I
to
think
hear
we
your
all do.
thoughts and feelings.
Perfect, because I've got a lot of emotions. I'll start with fake expectation. Gosh, you know what would be the coolest thing ever is if they released Darth Vader.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's
I've
Disney
seen that
now.
once or twice. Yeah, and I could get
and-
behind it. I'd be cool.
Dude,
Sure.
I've designed,
I'd be cool with the
designed
Star
a little
Wars
Darth
themed
Vader
expansion.
player that we've kind of been working on. He's been really fun, but I just think that they could do it. I mean, it's just so cool. The Darth Vader that I've got like designed is actually pretty. patting myself on the back here. I think he's pretty great, and I've been working on like the theming and mechanics and stuff. But Darth Vader would be a really cool one to see. But I know that it just doesn't match, with the rest of what we've got here.
I got you.
So realistic expectation, Gaston, please.
Okay.
I just want Gaston so bad.
Everybody with the Gaston.
I love Beauty and the Beast. Belle is my favorite Disney princess. Gaston is hilarious. The Beast is awesome. Chip is great. Cogsworth is great. Come on, so many good characters. I mean,
it's just that's it. I told people that I think Gaston of all the villains is the most set up for design wise.
Yeah, he is so
super easy.
Oh man, totally. And you know what? I envision it this way, which is actually really interesting because I do have something to say. I don't know if you guys saw early posts on Twitter, but way before Perfectly Wretched was even in belief or thought, or I don't even know. It was never announced. I released my next expansion cover with what I thought would be good for next expansion. And it was actually Mother Gothel as the big box character. It was a red box, and I made an artwork for it too, with Gaston as a side character, and then I forgot what I put as the last one. I forgot. I think it was Cruella, but that's too many big box characters. But anyways, I put Mother Gothel as like a red box, and I made an artwork for it. I tagged like Prospero Hall and Ravensburger, and they never responded. And I was like, wait, am I onto something? And it turns out that it's a red box, and it has Cruella and Mother Gothel in it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You're right on the money.
Yeah, that was pretty funny because a lot of the conversation on the Discord that we were having too before Perfectly Wretched was announced was like Cruella, Gothel, and X.
Yeah, and like who is that last one? I just wanted to be Gaston. It's red, But I actually think that it'll be a yellow box for Gaston, which I would be super excited about.
I think that would work.
Yeah, probably.
Because he has got the yellow gloves and, work. Little huntsman self.
I'm going to say this. We're going to have a new hashtag on the show. It's called Bring Back the Bag. And if Oogie Boogie does not make it into this game, I will fly out to Seattle myself. I will knock on some doors. I'll be like, "Where's the bag?"
I do love Oogie Boogie. I mean, Jack Skellington was one of my favorite characters. I mean, those movies are great. Nightmare Before Christmas is a great movie.
And I know Ditto has done a great job trying to imagine what the bag man will be like when he comes, because he's coming.
I wouldn't say great, but it's there. It exists.
I could see a Gaston big box character with Oogie Boogie as a kind of less known character. I could see that.
Yeah, I think we've been placing bets on the fact that Gaston or Oogie is going to lead the next box of some sorts. How that operates, we don't know. But I think that's because we keep having this discussion of like who's the front of the box characters, and they're kind of running out of those. But it's kind of nice to know that you're kind of on the same boat with the Gaston, because I want Gaston and I want Oogie, and then after that I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. I always tell people when it comes to these types of games, I always want more characters. Like even after I get my dream characters,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I always want more options for more, interesting things to do. But if you give me Oogie and Gaston and the game ended, I'd be like, this is definitely one of the best games ever made. Like, I still say that to this day, obviously, but
yeah, it is great. It is definitely one of my top games. I mean, I'll share this with anybody. Oh, Shan Yu.
Oh,
I would love to see Shan Yu because also would actually match. And in fact, like, guys, let's just give this to Prospero Hall right now. Gaston, big box character, Oogie Boogie, and Shan Yu, because it's like a medium weight, heavyweight, and then like a less known.
Do it.
I mean, that's great.
That kind of lines up with what was it last time with the we had like King Candy and Chernabog and something else.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In a pink box. Yeah.
Yeah. It was King Candy, Chernabog,
King Candy,
and
or Tremaine, I think.
Yeah.
See, really, Lady Tremaine. Wow.
See, I've been in the camp that Lady Tremaine is going to be included somewhere since like the very beginning. Just because like Cinderella is one of their biggest princess movies probably, and like you can't not have her somewhere.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I think you could have a lot of fun with setting up some sort of goal for her. Like
Mhm.
there's all ways you could do, like marrying the stepsisters to the prince. You could do just
Oh yeah, that would
preventing
be cool.
Cinderella from making it to the ball.
That would be really
Like
cool. Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with something like that, and I
I
am definitely in that camp.
I could see some funny fate cards with like Gus Gus and
Oh
all
yeah,
the little
absolutely.
mice
Yeah.
just doing terrible things to you, wreaking havoc. That'd start some funny conversations too.
Yeah, I think I was because I think I would like it if they kept up with the theme of they always at least have one female in each of the sets. I actually really like the fact that they're doing that because it helps keep obviously diversity up in our roster.
Totally.
I would like to see Tremaine make it in some shape or form, and if we get more expansions, more than we were thinking, I would like to see Madam Mim. I think she would be fun to do.
Yep.
Mm,
Yep.
that would be cool.
Yep. She's up there with me.
That would be really
Sword in
cool.
the Stone was one of my favorite movies as a kid. So
Really, that's awesome.
that one is that one's personal.
This one hits personal.
So speaking of personal, Ditto, do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
The only question I was gonna ask was that last one. So I mean, I think
Oh,
I'm
really?
good.
So I asked it for you.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
pretty much.
Wow. I
Wow.
was on it.
Reading my mind here.
Oh, wow. I'm psychic. Well, that's cool that we at least think the same on the expansion front. So now we'll get into a little bit of slight spoiler territory right here, folks. So if you don't want to know anything about the new expansion, you should probably just plug your ears. But let's be honest, you definitely want to hear everything about it. I know I've had talked to Ditto about a lot of the stuff with the expansion, so I know he's like I'm all in on the spoilers. But
That's like, yeah, the more I know, the better.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
so who is your favorite from the expansion?
Mother Gothel.
Really? Same.
Totally.
Yeah. I think
She's-
she's one of the best designed characters in the game.
Oh yeah. Dude, yeah, she is she's ranking she's like top for me right now.
Yeah.
She is so great in every way. I love the theme, I love the artwork. The only gripe that I have about it is actually just looks in a way, I think it's with the board. Corona, I think I should have been nighttime, not day. Because it's so much more
Yeah.
pretty with the lights at night, and she's going towards it for the lights, and then also just the board color, the kind of brown color. I had to get used to it. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if I like this color. Like I almost wish it was brighter, but it's kind of grown on me.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly just
I was always interested in Mother Gothel's color choice because when I was doing my
Yeah.
unboxing stream, Prospero was on there and they said because I asked him if it was the same color as Prince John's because it almost looks like it, but they said it's not.
it's similar.
Yeah.
But it is different. It is different. It's a little more muted.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know why they chose that color necessarily because I get that they were trying to maybe like go with like Rapunzel's hair type of color
That's
scheme.
kind of where I was going with it as well.
But I mean, I wish they maybe would have chose a different color, but I agree though. I think of the three, she is the most fun. I think she is the best designed. I also think she's one of the new best characters in the game. I put her right under all my S tiers. Right above the doctor.
I would definitely put her. I would definitely put her under that. I think people are gonna have a lot of trouble with her, though. I'll be honest.
Really?
I've seen a lot of people have troubles winning with her. I think a lot of people enjoy her, but they find it very hard to balance because I feel like with and this is just getting into a little bit of strategy, but I feel like with her, sometimes you've got to let her lose trust to be able to have a power play later and gain more trust than you lost. A lot of people just try so hard to make sure that you don't lose any trust at all. Like, don't let her get to the corona, like just I'll do anything to make sure that she doesn't get there. But you're burning cards and not getting like good power plays to get multiple trust in one turn.
Yeah, because that's the thing I've noticed with her is that so my girlfriend's been mainly playing her, and
Sure.
what happens is my girlfriend will basically make 2 or 3 trust swings in a row, and she's willing to play I forget the card's name, but the one that allows you to basically move her back at the cost of 1 trust, which is and it's pretty brutal. But then she just like makes it back up, and I've literally seen the whole I forget if it's 4 or 5 trust turn, where literally you can gain 4 or 5 trust in a single go.
Yep, that's going to be in my guide.
The thing is, setting that up, it's sure the setup is a little time consuming, but it is very consistent.
Yeah, and it comes and it'll bring you positive at the end of the day. I think you'll lose maybe two trust, you'll gain three. Or sorry, lose two trust, but you'll be two ahead of where you were, which is really good. I mean, it's
she's
pretty difficult.
bonkers.
Yeah, she's bonkers.
And the
dude.
thing is,
That's
she's
a great
fun
word
because
for it.
that's the thing is like I want whenever these new characters come out, I enjoy that if they're powerful, but they're also fun. It's the fighting game side of it coming out.
She's a kind of a challenge. She was a challenge for me, and I think that's also making her be one of my favorites. Is that I really had to like learn her and play her more to get her, which I thought was really interesting. It's also now I'm the bad guy is the card you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the card. Okay,
Move Rapunzel to her tower, you lose a trust. Sucks. But it's also really good.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Now I got to ask you, what is your opinion on Cruella? Because I would say, so this is going to sound really weird, and I know Ditto's going to hate me for this because I know he's looking forward to this character. I actually do not enjoy playing Pete as much as I thought I was going to. I actually enjoy playing Cruella more than Pete.
Yeah, dude, I am on the exact same page with you. I just had this discussion last night with my wife.
Oh, wow.
That dude, like literally just last night, I said I think sadly Pete is the least fun for me to play. And it's kind of sad because he was probably the one I was second most excited for.
Yeah.
I was actually most excited for Mother Gothel. I mean, it's my wife's favorite movie. I love the movie. It's great. And also Rapunzel's great. I mean, just everything's great about it. It's great. But Pete, I mean, I was so excited about him. I think the black and white theme was really cool. And I think the artwork is really great. I think it's almost just too straightforward.
Yeah, I think so
I don't
too.
know.
Like he has some gimmicky stuff with like his. I remember when on the unboxing stream, Prospero said like, if you're a big Magic the Gathering player of any kind and you like messing with your deck, like he'll be fun. But even when I've played with him, my friends have played with him. It's you get into this point where it's like it's too straightforward and you can put yourself in a position where you're just like, I'm not making any progress and I'm no longer having any fun.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
It's random. The whole setup is random, and especially if you get like, and like, because one of the common themes I actually talked about this with the person I was playing Ursula with earlier is that characters need to have multiple routes to win in order to make them fun. Pete,
Totally.
with a lot of his goals that he has set up, he really only has one way to really kind of achieve each one of those goals. What makes him different is the fact that one of them goes away every game, so you have to like change a little bit of how you set stuff up. And it just makes it way too straightforward, like you said, and then it's just like, okay. And then all of his fate cards are freaking brutal as hell.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, literally, I find it funny that Goofy is more brutal than Mickey.
I know, it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
I thought I know, it's so good. I think that's probably the best part about him, though, is actually just the characters that come out. It's like, oh gosh, Mickey Mouse, come to screw me.
I know. Exactly.
It's hilarious. It's like, oh gosh, dang, Pluto, what the heck? I just think it's funny, all the characters that come out. I mean, Claire Bellical and all of them. I think that's probably like the artwork and the theming of it is hilarious. And it kind of reminds me of like, you know, an old tune, like an old cartoon, just the way that it plays out too, which I think it's good. I think it's so irritating, you know, you're piling all your bandits and stuff, you know, and then, you know, your goal moves. It's like, wait.
Yeah, it's like, what? You know, and like,
Wait,
and then like I got 8 bandits on a space and I have to literally find ways to move multiples of them to another location.
Oof. Yeah, and that can be difficult with the locations giving the actions that you need, and you have to get all the locations. The locations have to be played. So the item cards have to be played at locations, and then you have to get them all at that area. I mean, there's just some things that can happen that are just, wow, what happened?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, you kind of know the answer of how to get there.
Right.
I think that's kind of why he'd probably be the least fun to play for me.
Yeah. Because I have not been doing well with Cruella, but I've been having more fun with Cruella, personally.
Yeah.
I think the capturing puppy mechanic is great, and the fact they give her the tool, like, because I said this when we first talked about it, where, like, I found it interesting where she has a vanquish spot, and she's only got 2 allies. So what are they going to do to compensate for the fact she's only got 2 allies? We're going to give you lots of tools to keep them out, which I think is super awesome. And it works, but it's just, like, I think she's too slow. But, like, the whole capturing puppy mechanic itself, I think, is one of the most satisfying things the game has done.
It really is.
It really feels good.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think they did such a good job. Just grabbing the puppies, them popping up in random spots, and it's about deduction too, because if they're popping up in one area, which areas they're more than likely going to be popping up next, which
Right.
is so cool. It's genius.
Yeah, I really dig playing her a lot. I wish I could be better with her. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to when I start playing with this more people is, yeah, my girlfriend and I have been mainly playing with the expansion characters against each other. So I think it'll be interesting to play against more of the original cast and see how well these characters kind of like stack up. Because we haven't had those like condition interactions or anything like that, or like see if like how fast is this character really against other characters.
Totally.
I'm looking forward to discovering that whole tactic and shenanigans and seeing if anyone if Ursula can actually beat all three, and like, oh, here we found the three characters Ursula can win.
Well, I'll tell you what. Mother Gothel for me was a lot easier with the expansion characters themselves, but she became more difficult with some other characters.
Really?
So, yeah, I found her to be a little bit harder. You have to work harder, definitely, and that's actually why she's my favorite. As I've consistently had to improve and find out what are ways to make this quicker and what are ways to make this faster and cleaner, because just try. I'll give you a couple matchups. I mean, there's some that are very difficult. Mother Gothel, we did a Mother Gothel versus Dr. Facilier. It was a wipeout. We did Mother Gothel versus pretty much any fast character, and it was a wipeout.
Wow.
It's difficult. Because I mean, you'll go a couple turns. The thing about her is that it's all about a balance. It's like a pendulum.
Right.
So you're going to be going down to go up later. But while that's all happening, a lot of her really good plays don't include fading your opponent.
Right. Oh, that is true. You're right.
And fading the opponent is so important. You're kind of taking away a turn, almost similar to how Scar is, I would say, where you actually have to take a turn outside of moving towards your goal to fate, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it also is like, and that's one thing I found as a struggle with her. She's still, I mean, so fun to play, and I'm not saying she's a bad character. I just think she's definitely going to be one that I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of troubles with. Same with Corella.
Yeah, we've been making the compare, because one of the things we talked about on the Discord and on a little bit on the show is that each of the sets of the expansions, at least, have kind of had like that character that the easy character is the one that you would like give to a new player, but in reality, if you want to like make sure that they can win, they're not gonna win unless nobody knows what they're doing. And like Corella, I would say is like the same boat in the set too, but I don't think she's as bad as like a first time someone playing with Scar or maybe even Hades, because she's got options to do stuff. I just don't. She just doesn't move fast enough.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh man, I could talk about this stuff all day. I love this game.
That's the thing about Villainous, man. It's just all around great.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm looking forward to what they do next, because I think after this expansion, I've realized that they've done a lot of the really weird stuff that I wasn't expecting. So like, how much more weird are they willing to get? Because, I really like the fact that really in this set, no one has a defeat a hero objective at all, which I think is really nice. And I wonder if they'll try to find ways to maybe stick away with that, because I think that was one of the things that was growing a little stale on me after playing so much is you get like a lot of these characters that are just defeat heroes, and it's all about, all right, we got to fish the hero out, and then we got to go make sure we can kill him.
Totally.
I think Yzma was the only one that kind of like shuffled that a little bit, because Yzma's very interesting to kind of pull off.
Yeah, that's it. That's one of the reasons why I think she's so enjoyable. Is it's kind of a traditional goal, but with untraditional means to get there.
Right.
Just due to the fact that card choices, the way that her deck's set up, the way that her fate deck's set up. And it's just so fun looking through the piles and being like, it's so thematic. You're like looking for Cusco. He's popping up in all these different cities. It's like, it's great. I love
know. It's fantastic.
She's a fun character. I've also had some. You can also get a really, really, I'm sure we all here know that there is some really good power plays to end the game, real quick with her as well.
I want to say, Ditto, do you want to tell our friend about the 3-turn win I had with Yzma that one time?
I'd rather pretend that didn't happen, honestly.
No.
That was awful.
That was brutal.
It can happen.
No, it was a combination of, I think, what was it? I got a whisper, or not whisper, eavesdrop.
Yeah, the
And
eavesdrop.
I what was it? I had superiority, and I think I drove
Double
like Kronk in
superiority
like 2
garbage.
turns. And then I played Kronk, and then I was like, let me just take a gamble. And then I did after them. Cusco showed up, and then what happened is that so I originally eavesdropped on a place that did not have Cusco. So somebody tries to fate me, and I'm like, superiority, and I choose the stack, no kids in it, and I'm like, all right, just gotta play a knife, which I have, and then
Stupid.
And there you go.
Dumb.
Dumb.
It was
That
dumb.
is that right there is a perfect. See, that's like the play. That's kind of what you want to try to work towards. You're gonna have to make adjustments throughout if you don't get lucky draws, but it's kind of like what you would want to work towards with her. It's so funny though.
Yeah.
I just think it's it's so
and
fun.
I've been kind of bringing this up in some of the games that I've been playing recently, where I just have this curse, I think, because I never seem to draw the cards that I need.
It's like a chariot
with
draw.
any villain or
No, just in general. Like
Yeah.
Yzma, I will never see an eavesdrop. I will see Kronk, but I'll never see the dagger.
Yeah, the dagger's really important.
Hades, I never get the chariot.
Discard.
Facilier, it takes me way too long to get something like Shadow Man or the Cane or
Yeah, I
anything useful.
me and my wife, we have this saying that kind of goes around, and it's just when all else fails, discard. Because, yeah, seriously. I mean, you got-
no, it's true. And
Yeah,
I think
you really-
the one weekend and a half, couple weeks ago, that I just did nothing but Ursula, just to kind of try to understand. And I think I've been discarding way too much ever since.
Yeah.
Just because it's such an important aspect to her that I think it kind of bled off
Oh,
into
yeah.
how I look at everyone else too.
Sure.
I mean, for some characters it helps, but like other characters probably not as much, because like especially the characters that don't need like one very specific card, you probably shouldn't be doing it as often as you should be. But like the characters who need specific cards, you definitely want to do that stuff. Like Jafar, definitely is one
Totally.
where you're like, all right, every chance I can find a way to discard a card, I'm going to discard something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting. The way that we play Jafar, well, I guess the way that I personally play Jafar, and I guess my wife has also learned to, we pretty much have a few cards that we deem important, and we discard everything else.
huh? Okay.
And it actually goes a lot quicker. And that's talking like discarding 3 cards or so. I mean, a turn if we can. It's
Wow.
very interesting, but it really will make the game go along a little bit quicker, early game at least for you, because he has so many things that he has to search for. I mean, he's one of the most search-heavy villains.
Yeah.
He's got
Him and
2
Ursula
cards in his
specifically,
deck,
yeah.
and then a card in his fate deck that he has to get to. It's crazy.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, because we've been on this very deep discussion about Ursula. Do you think Ursula needs a real balance change, or do you think we just haven't discovered it yet? I'm curious about your thoughts.
Yeah, I enjoy the fact that she is very, very difficult. So I don't think that we should balance change her. Almost similar to the fact that the lizard cult is so difficult in root.
Yeah.
They released a balance change to help players, but if you want to play hardcore mode, play it the original way. And I think that if they did something, they should do that with Ursula, kind of give an alternate way to play her for newer players. But I think for those of us who really want to dig into the strategy of the game, it's always a challenge to think like, what am I doing wrong? Is there something that I can do here that I just haven't thought about? And I like wondering that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out too, because we were talking about a bunch of balance changes, and then I was remembering my time learning Scar, because like I said, Scar is my favorite character of all the characters, and he was very tough, but I slugged it out, and Ditto can attest. I've been kicking some serious ass with Scar lately.
I mean, he was pretty good to begin with, but I think that has more to do with the fact that I'm just awful.
No, you're not awful, man. No.
Don't say that.
No, don't say that.
Jeez.
No, you don't understand. I'm losing to Scar. That's not a good thing.
But
he might just be great with Scar. I would love to see a game with you and Scar.
no, yeah,
There's plenty of them on the way.
Yeah, there's plenty of them on the way. Quite a
ready
few
to see
wins.
that.
I had one against the Evil Queen, but I lost it when I had to reboot my entire machine. It was the one match the day before I lost, and I'm so upset with myself. It was really depressing. But yeah, no, because when I started like learning Scar and like trying to like figure out, because the whole goal with Scar was to optimize and like strategize of like, all right, I need to kill as fast as possible, and I have to kill heroes if they come out before Mufasa comes out, because I need to cycle that stuff back into my deck so Hakuna Matata doesn't murder me.
Totally.
So once I started taking up that strategy, what happened was my gains went from, all right, I'm just getting faded to death, to, all right, I'm winning, or if I'm losing, I'm not having a bad time. Because that was kind of my goal with it was, I was like, even if I'm losing my games, I want to at least make it so I'm at least having fun playing the character and figuring out the puzzle. Because especially early on, I was getting way too many times where 5 cards left in the deck, it was like 3 Hakuna Matatas, freaking a prophecy, and a stick. You know, and it was just like, it was like, nope.
Yeah.
But I figured it out, and then I'm having tons of fun with the character. I think Ursula can have that, and I figured out a few things today before the recording. I was actually playing with Ursula because I wanted to figure this out. Not to say I'm going to stick with her, but I kind of just want to be like, all right, here's the way that you should at least be thinking about playing this character, and I'm struggling real hard right now. So, but I think we're getting closer. I definitely need to get some more games in with her first.
And that's me too, because like, you know, I don't play her very often.
No.
I'll be honest. Like I definitely played her earlier when the very first when it released, when the game released, because I realized, oh gosh, nobody's winning with her. This is very interesting. I want to see what I can do. Actually, you know, at the very beginning, she was winning, and I think it was because nobody knew how to play.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, once everybody started taking this more seriously, she never wins. And then I was like, this is interesting. So I started playing her some more. I think we could all do, you know, a good little balance check. You know, like play her again some more. I think I should do that. Definitely. I think it's really funny. It shows in the community what villains people want to learn the most. I think my Ursula strategy guide is like over 4,000 views. It's the most popular one and still getting views today.
Yeah, I mean, people want to learn to play this character because, like, I will be honest, of all the female characters, Ursula is my favorite. Of like from Disney lore. So it's like when I want to go play like a female representative from the Disney community of the characters, I want to play Ursula. But why would I want to play Ursula when I'm just going to get my ass kicked? You know, it's just like, and like, or like, do that or not have fun. You know, that's the biggest thing with me is I want to make sure people have fun when they play the game. Because I know one of my friends, Knox, actually, when he first was introduced to Villainous, it wasn't with me, but like they played like a 6-player game and someone got stuck with Ursula, and I'm like, you don't give someone Ursula the first time you play this game. No offense.
No.
It just, unless they're very experienced with board games, you don't do that to them. You're gonna make them have a sad day.
I would give them Queen of Hearts if it's base game, or Prince John if it's base game.
Yeah.
Getting into expansions. Yeah, I mean, we could go over the list. I think we are all.
Yeah, I think we're pretty familiar with it, but it's just like I want to be able to make her work because I don't want to have a roster of characters where I feel like there's just a garbage character. Like in terms of like fun, and as well as like I actually make this work and not have to kill my brain to do it. That's the biggest thing. Because now that I figured out Scar, I'm like, all right, there's not really a character in the game that's like beatable with, or like you can't win. But Ursula is literally just like, it's rough. I'm just I want to be able to figure it out. But that's why they should go watch your video, because obviously there is some knowledge there that needs to be given out.
I think there's definitely a little bit of knowledge. Maybe a little bit. I definitely want to go and play her some more. So you're kind of inspiring me to get, really serious with her. again. Maybe make her my weak main, because I want to find some stuff. I'll like choose a character to really study, and I'll just say, every time we play Villainous, I'm playing this character this week. Because you gotta play them to learn them. So
right.
I also study their cards like a ton before I play. So that's a huge one.
Yeah.
I guess there was, and I think that when you watch that video, I guess there was a rules miscommunication that I had in there for Ursula, and that was something about the lock token. I don't know.
Well,
it was something about.
I know there's been lots of stuff with the lock token because it's like if you lock yourself at the lair, you no longer can act or interact with any of the cards at the lair. So if you have like any of the eels or the cauldron, you can't activate it. And you can't move heroes from the lair if they are there. I know that's one thing.
Yeah, you can't move heroes from a space with a lock token. Am I correct when saying
you cannot move. Yeah, you cannot do that.
See, that's what I thought. So putting a lock token and getting aerial locked is huge.
Well, that's the thing. What I'm discovering is I'm like, I don't even think that's that good. That's the sad part because if you locked them at the shore, or not the shore, the palace, you're losing an extra move.
You can't use the palace, yeah.
And you're losing a fate.
That's true. It's a double, and then you can't do the fate strat.
Yeah, the fate strat. No, and that's the other thing. I hate the fact that literally part of her strategy is make your opponent have a miserable day.
Yeah. She really can. She can really. Oof. She can. Oof.
Yeah. But
kind of same with the evil queen. Kind of has a fate. Similar. She can move towards both of her goals once she gets the dwarf's cottage unlocked and fate consistently. I love when you're able to do that. Not saying that you should, but I like being able to move towards my goal while simultaneously being able to fate if somebody's like doing really well.
Yeah, that's why I really like what is it, Mount Olympus on Hades. I think that space is fantastic.
Yes.
It's one of the best designed spaces in the game, even if it doesn't do Hades a whole lot of justice, because it's like I'm being offensive towards my goal, but I can also be defensive.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the show here, everybody. I think we've talked for an hour. We've had some great discussions. I really appreciate you coming on the shore. Not the shore. The freaking Ursula talk is coming out of my heart.
I'm bumping to the shore.
I need to go not play Ursula for like a whole year so I can get my brain out of this mode.
Joke.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. But thank you so much for joining us, friend. I really appreciate you coming on. You are more than welcome to always hop on the show. I would love after you do your week of Ursula. Because I think one of the topics I do want to talk about at some point, because we've been discussing this with Ursula, is like not necessarily what we would do to fix her, or maybe a little bit of that, but as well as like what we need to do in order to make her like a viable character. Because I really want to figure that out. But until then, thank you so much for joining us. Ditto, thanks again for joining us as well. I always love your company.
Oh, no problem.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I apparently two of you don't like the Lion King as much as I do, so now I'm really sad.
See, look. No. It's not that I didn't like it. It's that Sword in the Stone, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan.
Okay. All right.
Peter Pan is great. You're bringing back old wounds here. Come on.
I know. You're hurting me, man. You're hurting me. But until then, friends, until the next show, make sure, remember, if you want to be part of the giveaway, hashtag Wicked giveaway, all that nonsense. And I'll see you folks next time we get Wicked.